The Palestine Solidarity Campaign is today holding a mass rally in Sea Point in Cape Town. The protest is to denounce plans to relocate Palestinians from Gaza to Egypt and Jordan, as suggested by President Donald Trump. And today's rally is also set to make several demands to the South African government regarding the Israel-Gaza matter. SABC News reporter Vanessa Poonah is, of course, covering that event and joins us once again to give us the latest. So, Vanessa, speaking to you earlier, crowds were still gathering, and you were telling us about the multiple disciplinaries as well as groups of people that have actually arrived in solidarity with this cause. What is the latest from your side at this stage?
Alicia, good afternoon to you again. Yes, indeed, people from all walks of life have gathered here at the Mandela Sunglasses behind me on the Sea Point Promenade. This, of course, for this pro-Palestinian rally, but really it is a feedback session. I caught up with anti-apartheid cleric a short while ago, Reverend Frank Shikani. He will be delivering a keynote address here just now, and when I asked him about his presence here today, he says this is to give feedback on the Palestinian request for an anti-apartheid movement to be established here in South Africa, similar to the one that we had in the years pre-1994. Of course, people, as I've mentioned, from all walks of life, those aligned to the Palestine Solidarity Campaign. I see members of, for example, the EFF. I've seen representatives from Jews for a Free Palestine, and young and old people from all over have come here with the same message, and that is to free Palestine. I mean, I'm joined now by one of them, Jamie Rosengarten. Jamie, you were telling me just now that you've come here in support of this rally. Just explain to us why you felt it was important to join this gathering here at Sea Point today.
Yes, as a member of South African Jews for a Free Palestine, myself and others in my organization are here, as although there is nominally a ceasefire right now in Gaza, more Palestinians have been arrested than captives have been released. There's been intensified bombing, and a system of apartheid is still being perpetuated there. So myself and all here are quite clear in our demands that there needs to be justice for the thousands of people who have lost their lives. And that manifests in a number of calls. Predominantly, it manifests in the call for South African citizens who are serving in the IDF to be prosecuted. And secondly, we are rallying here to demand coal exports, as right now, despite the great stance South Africa has taken with the ICJ, South Africa remains one of the largest coal exporters to Israel. South Africa remains one of the countries which is fueling the genocidal and apartheid regime in Israel. And as citizens of all walks of life, we're here to voice our displeasure against this and demand that our government puts their money where their mouth is and takes further actions at a local and international level.
And talking about on a local and international level, we know that Reverend Frank Shikani is just now going to deliver a keynote message, but also he calls it a feedback session on this call for an anti-apartheid shall we say, gathering or grouping, or really just coming together of people in terms of what has been happening here in South Africa, but also abroad.
Well, yes, over the last year and a half, there's been intense mobilization in South Africa for our brothers and sisters in Palestine, as we understand the system of apartheid better than most. So because of that, it's quite exciting that these forces are coalescing into a coalition. And I think the main point to emphasize here is what this coalition is attempting to achieve is the fact that although South Africa has often taken a good international stance, there's few areas in its foreign policy that are a bit hypocritical, as I alluded to, we're the largest supplier of coal to Israel. As I also alluded to, South African citizens are currently serving in the IDF genocidal regime, even though that is against South African law. So as this anti-apartheid movement, we hope to call for justice here, just as was done by international movements during our apartheid.
Jamie, thank you so much for your time. Of course, there, Jamie Rosengarten, just one of the many supporters, and I mean, I could say hundreds of supporters that have come out here today to attend this pro-Palestinian rally. Of course, we do expect the Reverend Frank Shikani to give that feedback, as he mentioned to me earlier on, in terms of this mobilization of South Africans, similarly to what we've seen in the years preceding democracy in our country.
All right, thank you so much to SABC News reporter there, Vanessa Poonah, joining us live from the Sea Point in Cape Town.